Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Joelle and I'm a full-time reseller on several platforms, but primarily Poshmark, eBay, Whatnot, and Mercari. And today I have a what sold video for you all from the last 2 weeks. Most of these sales came from Poshmark, but I do have a few notable sales from eBay and Mercari that I will be sharing with you. And I gotta say, July was not the best month. The silver lining though is that it was much better than the month of June, so I can tell that summer slowdown is at least coming to an end for my closet. But nevertheless, I am hitting the ground running, determined to make August my best month so far of reselling in 2023. But before we get into the sales, I first want to take some time to thank you all for 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube. I cannot believe that I made it to this number, and of course, I could not have made it without the support of all of you here on my channel. So I just want to express my gratitude to all of my subscribers and all of my supporters of my channel. I will have a giveaway at some point, so be on the lookout for it in the next couple of weeks. I don't quite know what I'm gonna do yet for the giveaway. For my 1K giveaway, I did 2 free boxes of inventory and I gave it away to 2 different people. I might do that one again, but I also might think of something else too. So be on the lookout in the next couple of videos. I will make sure to announce it. But now let's get into our sales. Poshmark has always been my best performing platform, so most of the sales here are Poshmark sales. So first up, we have this Storia Lace Illusion Sheath Dress, and this one sold for $29 on an offer sent by the buyer. And this was a $35 listing, so I thought that one was really reasonable. Storia is a brand that I typically don't pick up. In fact, I think this was my first time ever selling it. I have noticed that they have some trendy pieces, but the retail value just isn't the best. But this piece I thought was so fun and unique and perfect for a wedding guest dress, so I figured for the $1.80 that it cost me, it would be worth the pickup. Worst case, I just take it to a consignment store. However, that was not necessary because this sold within just 2 days of listing, and since $29 was just $6 off my asking price, that was an offer that I could not refuse. So for this quick sale after fees and cost of goods, I profited $21.40. And next up, we have a brand I don't typically sell either. So these are the Cobby Chance Wide Leg Pants, and these ones sold for $24 and discounted shipping on a $30 listing. These also sold quick within about 1 week of listing, so I consider that a huge success, especially because they only cost me $1.80. So after fees and cost of goods, I profited a quick $15.38 for these Cobby pants. And next up, we have a sale that probably could have sold for a little bit more, but it sold on a 50% offer plus discounted shipping. So for $20, I sold these new with tags, Dear John Sadie high-rise flare jeans. So I said here again, I think they could have sold for more, and they did rack up a decent amount of likes on Poshmark. So this is a really great style to sell. They did have a button fly, and flare jeans are something that I feel like will never go out of style. So anytime I get the chance to pick up flare jeans or even something like boot cut or a kick boot, I will almost always pick it up as long as the brand and the price are right. Now these jeans cost me $0 because I received them in a mystery box on Poshmark and I used them with referral credits. So that was a huge win for me. I sold a lot of the stuff on Whatnot, but I figured that these jeans could get a little bit more if I sold them on Poshmark. So after fees and cost of goods for these jeans, I ended up profiting $13.98. Next up, we have a great Bolo activewear brand. So for $32 in discounted shipping, I sold these Sweaty Betty, the Zero Gravity Black 7/8 leggings. And these previously sold for $20 in discounted shipping about 2 months ago on that 50% off bulk offer that I sent at the end of the month. However, the buyer opened a case because the stock photo showed pockets, but the leggings did not. So that was my bad. I took full accountability for it, and I ended up just telling Poshmark, go ahead and approve it. I figured that they were gonna approve it anyways. This person specifically wanted pockets in their leggings, so I just told them, go ahead and approve it. No issues, no problems, and it ended up working out not only in the buyer's favor because they got a refund, but in my favor as well because they ended up selling for $12 more. So that is something I've noticed becoming full-time. This was actually my first case that I've had open since becoming full-time, but it was something that I realized was kind of something I didn't want to go through the hassle of doing. I knew that these leggings could sell for more. They only cost me $3, so I was okay with letting them go for $20, but I figured that if I just let them return it, they would probably sell for a little bit more. So instead of having to fight my case and try to get my earnings, I figured just go ahead, let them return it. It'll leave someone happy as a buyer. And of course, it resulted in more profit for me. So after fees and cost of goods, I made $20.58. And after these leggings were returned, they ended up selling within about 1 month of listing. Next up, we have a Barbie core item. So for $15 on an offer sent by the buyer, I sold this Ralph Lauren Sport pink cropped cardigan. Now, this tag, please let me know in the comments if you are experienced with Ralph Lauren tags. I could not find this exact Ralph Lauren Sport one. I thought that it was Y2K just based on the style, but I could not quite determine it. So that was something that I did not add to the listing. I put here in my notes, can you say preppy Barbie? This seemed like the perfect piece to sell since the Barbie movie just came out. And I can tell you guys that anything pink seems to be flying out of my closet, especially unique and vintage and Y2K pieces like this. So if you would have asked me a couple years ago if I would have picked this up, I'd probably say no, because this is just a basic older style cardigan. But this just shows how so many past trends just recycle themselves and even evolve into a whole new trend. So this was something that was probably popular in the early 2000s, and now it is popular because not only is it a Y2K style, potentially not, but I'm just gonna assume by the style that this is Y2K, but this is also a Barbie core style. So I love seeing trends kind of recycle themselves like that. And it definitely goes to show that as you continue reselling and the longer you're a reseller, you start realizing that things that maybe weren't the best when you first started selling are now big trends, and maybe even things that were bolos when you first started are things you don't pick up anymore. So really cool thing about reselling. I love seeing fashion change over the years, but long story short, this was really popular in my closet. It racked up 13 likes on Poshmark and even a couple on Depop, and my cost of goods were $0. This was free to me, had a couple of flaws, and still ended up selling within about 1 week of listing. So after fees and cost of goods, I made a very quick $12 for this Ralph Lauren pink cropped cardigan. Speaking of Ralph Lauren, we have a polo Ralph Lauren striped short sleeve polo. This was a men's polo and it sold for $25 at full price on Poshmark. I put here that this is a great bread and butter brand specifically for men's items. So I'm really picky with the women's pieces that I pick up. However, I've sold a decent amount of men's items from Ralph Lauren and then all of those sub brands like Polo Ralph Lauren. So I do have here that the only other polo I've sold from this brand also sold for full price at $30. That one was new with tags, so I don't know if I can confidently say that these polos are a bolo brand, but at least for my closet, I have 100% sell-through rate for the brand. Even though I haven't sold a ton of pieces, I am starting to get much more familiar with it. So that's another one of those. Let me know in the comments if you do sell this brand, specifically men's items, and if you think it is worth the pickup. This was another free to me piece of inventory, so after fees and cost of goods, I profited $20 for this polo, and it sold within about 2 months of listing. Next up, we have another full price sale. So for $50, I have these Hidden Tracy front slip crop jeans. So this was a new to me brand. I didn't see a ton of sold comps, but there were promising ones. So these days, I'm trying to focus a little bit more on sell-through rate rather than just sold comps. I'm trying to get items in and out of my closet within around 3 months or less of listing. And these ones ended up selling within about 3 weeks of listing. So very happy with this sale, not only because of the profit, but because of how quick it ended up selling. I also put here that I saw some higher listings for this exact pair of jeans, even in the same size at 26, but I am trying to price my items accordingly, and I believe that this has led to more full price sales. So I saw some listings for around that $60 to $65 range. I felt like that was a little too high, and so I decided to list at $50. I thought that would be really intriguing for someone who is searching for this exact pair of jeans. I also figured that if I listed them at $65, the initial offer that I would send out to new likers would be $52 in discounted shipping. So that would basically be like listing something for $50. So I figured, why not just skip that middle step and go ahead and price it a little bit lower in hopes of having a full price sale. And of course, I was very happy to see that this ended up selling for full price. So for these jeans and this new to me brand, I ended up profiting $38.50. All right, now we're on to Mercari Sales. I put here that the sales are slim and low, but we did have a couple of promising ones. I have a love-hate relationship with Mercari, and I feel like most of my sales end up selling for a lot less than what I would sell for on Poshmark. I kind of consider that my clear out platform. However, the past couple of weeks, I had a few very notable high profit sales that I'm excited to share with you all. First up, I have this Pop Flex onesie romper. This one sold for $40 on an offer sent by the buyer, and I have a few things to talk about with this item. So first up, I put this was a popular piece. I see these onesies all over social media. You could probably type in onesie onto TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you are on social media, and you will see all of these influencers wearing these onesies from brands like Aerie, Free People, so many more. Popflex was one of the more popular ones as well, but I've seen a lot more brands jumping on the bandwagon, and this specific sale just proved how popular onesies really are right now. So this piece racked up a lot of likes in the 1 week that it was listed before selling. On Poshmark, I had 18 likes. That does not come often. I said earlier that cardigan had 13 likes. That was a lot for me. Usually items will sell before they get to around that maybe 3 or 4 likes range. This one, 18 total likes. 5 on Mercari, and it had 1 watcher on eBay. So I'm glad that I cross-listed it because this thing was clearly not going to sell quick on Poshmark. I had it listed for $50. On Poshmark, I would send out $40 plus discounted shipping. And finally, after it got around 10 likes, I decided to lower the price to $35 on Closet Clearout Day. Nobody bought it. Now, something I've never mentioned before on this channel is that I am big on instant gratification. So when I see something racking up a lot of likes, just send me an offer. I really would rather just get it sold because I get so excited that it's so popular, and I'm really bad on holding out for a high price sale. So when this racked up a lot of likes, I figured I'll send out offers on Mercari. I sent out offers to 4 people, figured somebody might accept that $40 offer. Nobody did. However, the next day, someone ended up liking the item again. If you don't know, with Mercari, you can only send offers every 3 days or so. I think it's somewhere around that 72-hour range, but correct me if I am wrong. With that being said, though, I could not send this person an offer. They ended up, though, sending me a $40 offer, so you guessed it, I definitely accepted it. So again, long story short, go source onesies. If you find them at a thrift store, run to it. Definitely make sure to pick it up. And this is honestly a piece that I'd be willing to pay up for. I will say I'm not seeing a ton of them on the secondhand market yet. I think just because it's such a new trend. But if you do manage to see one, make sure you go and pick it up. Run comps and price accordingly. For this onesie, I paid $5.99 for it, and so after fees and cost of goods, I made a quick $28.14. And next up for Mercari, I have this Athleta Triumph gray jacket, and this one sold for $20 after agreeing on the price with the buyer. This person ended up messaging me asking if I could lower the price. I think I had this listed for 30, maybe 35 bucks, so I thought that was reasonable enough, especially because I only paid $1 for it. Selling Athleta is definitely a go-to for me. If you watch my previous videos, you might know that it is one of my best-selling brands, not only in 2022, but also here in 2023. And this was my first time selling a jacket, but I was not disappointed. I do have another one in my closet, and it is getting a decent amount of attention as well. So for this jacket, after fees and cost of goods, I profited $15.56. And this sold within about a month and a half of listing. All right, we have one more sale to go over on Mercari, and then we have 2 to talk about on eBay. So for this final sale on Mercari, I have this Vans custom slip-on classic sneakers, and this was also a full price sale, technically after smart pricing was turned off, but it ended up selling for $40. These shoes were also graciously given to me to sell, so my cost of goods was $0, but Vans is a great bread and butter brand. Definitely a brand that I wouldn't pay more than maybe $8 to $10 for if they're in good enough condition. These ones were new with tags but had a couple of flaws, probably from being in the box and from shipping. But after fees and cost of goods, I profited $33.96. All right, now we're on to eBay. eBay has been very slow. I'm determined to make eBay one of my better performing platforms. eBay's probably even with Mercari in terms of the numbers I'm making, but I will say my average sales price on eBay is much higher than Mercari. So these 2 sales were very helpful for my eBay numbers. I did manage to have one other sale on eBay in the past 2 weeks, and it was a $12 sale. So not worth noting. Just like a lot of other sales that I had this month that I am not including, those are sales that just didn't bring me a good profit. Maybe they were bad pickups, and I don't want to ruin this what sold video with bad sales. So that's for another video. But for eBay, like I said, my average sales price is a little bit higher. And so first up, I have this Zara Basic sleeveless long line blazer vest. and this one sold on a $30 offer sent by the buyer. This was a $45 listing, so I thought that was very reasonable. And I put here that this listing was my kryptonite. I say that because it was relisted at least 3 times. Quick little shout out to Posh Sidekick. They do relist my items every 30 to 60 days. Sometimes I change it up, but if you do want to learn more about Posh Sidekick, it is an automation tool. I do have my code below if you want to sign up with the link. You can get a free trial. No credit card required, no obligations. You could just try it out for a week. And if you do choose to sign up, you can get 10% off your first month. And if you want to learn more about Posh Sidekick, I do have a YouTube video also linked below talking about the pros and cons. And I also have a YouTube short talking about their automated silent auctions. Right now, they're the only automation tool that has that feature. So I personally think that's the best reason to sign up. But back to the Zara blazer, relisted at least 3 times. Every single time I feel like it racked up a lot of likes on Poshmark. It had likes on Mercari. I tried selling it on Whatnot, and it also had a lot of watchers on eBay. Nobody was buying it. I thought about lowering the price. However, when I looked at other listings and sold comps, my $45 listing was right on par with that and right in that sweet spot. It wasn't too low and it wasn't too high. So I figured I would go ahead and keep that $45 price and wait for the right buyer to come along. So like I said earlier with that Pop Flex onesie, I'm very impatient when stuff racks up a lot of likes. For this one, I channeled my inner patience and I decided to just hold out. I'm glad that I did because this thing only cost me $2. And so after fees and cost of goods, I made $24.03. And this Zara blazer sold within about 4 months of listing. All right, we are on to my final notable sale of the past couple of weeks. So for $20 on an offer sent by the buyer, I sold these Adriano Goldschmied Relaxed Tomboy Straight Leg Jeans. This is a brand that I have a newfound respect for. I feel like back in the day, I looked at sold comps for certain jeans and just couldn't find ones that were worth picking up, but I've managed to sell a few pairs and they have all been pretty decent sales, around that $20 to $30 range. So I've been picking it up a lot more. These ones were a smaller size too, but so far I have had no problem selling their smaller sizes. So I don't know if they're just really popular in smaller sizes compared to other denim brands, but I'm counting my blessings because this ended up being a decent sale. So my cost of goods was just $1.79 and they had a pretty decent amount of wear at the hem. That is something that I used to not check as often, but now when I'm sourcing jeans, especially any type of straight leg or boot cut, or flare of course, I am always checking that hem to check for wear. However, after fees and cost of goods, I profited $14.28, and these jeans ended up selling within about 2 months of listing. All right, we have now gone over my most notable sales from the past couple of weeks. Let me know in the comments if you like this type of format for a what sold. I'd be happy to go over every single sale as well, but like I said, I just don't include some of those sales that were either bad pickups, low profit sales, or just things that I don't really consider a bolo. I feel like it's better to just talk about the notable ones because these are all items that I would source again if I got the opportunity. So let me know your feedback though in the comments. I always appreciate getting feedback from you guys. And of course, if you found any sort of value in this video, I hope you consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. But that is all I have for this what sold video today. So now that we're at the end of this video, thank you all so much for watching and I will see you for the next video.